All right, back again. As you can see, I have cut open my beer batter, emptied it into a bowl. Now I'm going to choose one of these beers. I'm going to choose the Budweiser one, and I'm going to add the beer to the batter slowly. It's not going to take all of it, okay, which is fine. So I'm adding the beer to the batter slowly. Then I'm going to mix this up, give it a nice good stir. I'm going to, of course, as you can tell, I'm going to have to add more beer. So beer is not just for drinking. You can cook with it. Okay? So I'm mixing this up very well. Now you want to be careful not to put too much. Okay? You don't want too much. You want a kind of thick batter that's going to stick to your food. Okay? Now if you do add too much, there's a simple remedy for that. You just add a little bit of flour and or cornmeal to your mixture. Okay? And you want to mix this up pretty good. What you don't want is chunks in there, and you don't want dry batter at the bottom of your bowl. So you want to marry all of this together. Okay? Oh yes, now that's looking like a nice, good batter. Okay? Now, when you're doing a fish, especially for my family and friends in, back home in the Philippines, certain things that you want to be mindful of, okay? I know the fish there is, not as like what we have here, but you want all of your insides removed from that fish. This fish here is, it's predominantly skinned. There is no bone. And as you can see, I did not use all of this beer. So that's going to come in handy later because I'll drink it. Okay? So, now there you have the prepared beer batter for the fish. And again, we are preheating our oil at 375 degrees. If you're using an induction cooker, okay, you want your oil temperature to read 375 degrees. So usually on an induction cooker, you would start it off to heat the oil pretty quickly on high, and then lower it down to medium high because you do not want to burn your batter. Okay, so I'm going to start the cooking process, and I'm going to move to the front of the truck. Now, by the way, all of this is done inside of my truck. I am inside the cab of my truck here watching the football game. Alrighty. UCLA and Utah. Okay, so so I'm inside my truck and I'm cooking. It's microwave, refrigerator, freezer, and of course my 2 cans of beer. Yay! Alrighty, so I'll be back with the cooking process. Okay, I'm back again. I have moved to the front of the truck where the oil is being preheated. Now, before you start, you want to make sure that your oil is at the right temperature. How do we do that? Well, you can stick your finger in there, but I would not recommend it. So, one of the things that I would do is if you have a wooden spoon or a wooden cooking utensil, you can take and stick that in there, and if that's bubbling, you will get it done. But the way you can tell is if you drop a little bit of the batter in and it bubbles right away, oh yeah, that's ready to go. Okay, so now that we're ready to go with our batter, what we're going to do next is, without making too big of a mess, we're going to transfer the fish into the batter. Okay? Look at that. Just like that. Now, like I said, these pieces of cod are fairly thick, as you can see. That's a thick piece of fish. Alrighty? So I'm going to put 3 of them in there. Alrighty? And then I'm going to slowly add them to my hot oil. I don't have a holder, so I'm going to come back with you when they're in the hot oil and they are swimming. As you can see, all the little fishies are in the water, swimming in the oil. Just swimming, swimming, swimming. Look at the color on those fish. Wow. Okay, and there's the last piece that I put in there. Now, I do the fish first because they take the longest to cook. And then I'm going to do shrimp as well, in the beer batter also. And then I've got a surprise for you guys. You're going to love it. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, I am back, and look at this. Look what's happening inside that pan there. Alrighty, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of fish that I've got going in there, just swimming away in the oil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take where is my spatula? There we go. Alrighty, I'm going to take my spatula here, and I'm going to slowly come underneath. As you can see, they are floating very nicely. Alrighty, they are just very nicely swimming, and I'm going to slowly rotate them. Whoops, that got a little there. And slowly turn them over so that they cook evenly on both sides. So it's going to slowly turn it over. Be careful because you don't want to splash everything everywhere. Oh. Okay, slowly turn it over. Look how brown that is. Okay? Slowly turn them over. You don't want to slop them over because then you'll get oil everywhere. Alrighty? Just slowly rotate them so that they cook evenly on both sides. Look at that. Huh? Okay? Again, be very careful. Alrighty? Look at that. Alrighty? And by the way, while you're cooking this, you can really smell the beer. Really smell it. Okay? Don't worry, kids. It's not going to get you drunk. The beer will cook out. I've got enough room in the pan. I can add my final piece of fish. So I'm going to add that one, and I'll get right back with you. Okay, here we are again. Look at that golden brown color on that fish. As you can see, I've added some shrimp. Now, what I've done with this shrimp is I have peeled it and I have deveined it, okay? And I rinsed it pretty good. Now, it's very important that we devein the shrimp. That's that middle vein inside there. Okay? Now, if you've got a large enough pan, you can put enough oil in there to cover so that you don't have to rotate the fish as often. But I rotate them because I want them evenly cooked on all sides. So you want it cooked on all sides, and the fish has to be cooked all the way through. There's nothing like eating a raw fish. Not pleasurable by no means. So as you can see, I'm rotating my shrimp. The shrimp doesn't take long. It cooks very fast, okay? So all we really were looking for is the golden brown texture on the shrimp as well. But the shrimp cooks extremely fast. So you don't want to overcook your shrimp. Alrighty? And look at that. Okay? Look at that. Alrighty, so part of the fish is about ready to come out. Now, the important thing is whenever you're frying fish, chicken, anything, prepare a landing. That is a plate with a paper towel so that it'll absorb the oil. So let's remove this guy here because he's completely ready. Look at the color of him. We're going to shake it a few times, and we're going to put it on the landing, okay? So that it drains the oil. Look at that guy there. All right, who else is ready to come out? Let's see here. This guy here. Basically, you want to cook your fish roughly about, I'm going to say 7 to 8 minutes per side, depending on the number of fish you're doing. If you're only doing one piece of fish, you don't have to use as much oil. And you don't have to let the fish cook as long if you're only doing one piece. But if you're doing several pieces, then you want them cooked fairly thoroughly. And of course, this is a thick piece of this is a very thick fish. It's Atlantic cod. It's a very thick fish. Now what I'm doing with the shrimp, again, like I said, I have deveined it. Now I'm putting it in the batter. And, you know, you want to get a paper towel or, you know, someplace where you can wash your hands, because this is a pretty messy job. Okay? It's pretty messy. Right? So you got to just get the shrimp battered, just like that. And you're going to drop that directly into the hot oil. Don't add it slowly. You know, drop it directly in there. If you add it slowly, what's going to happen is that the batter will not start to cook fast enough. One end will start to cook before the other, and then you've got yourself a mess on your hands, because it'll stick to the bottom of the pan. Now I want you to see that. I want you to see this. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. I don't have a lot of room in here, but I want you to see this. As soon as I insert the shrimp, it's going to fall to the bottom of the pan immediately, okay? But as the batter, okay, here we go. Here comes the shrimp. Bam! Now see how it's laying down in the bottom of the pan there? Don't worry about that. As soon as it starts to curl, you'll see she's gonna float. Alrighty? It's gonna come up for air. It's saying, I can't breathe. So we're just going to add one more piece of shrimp. Look at that. Bam! Alright, now this fish is ready to come out. Alrighty? Another thing you want to do is keep you a paper towel, or if you're in the kitchen, you know, most people are, not like me in the truck, but you're in the kitchen, and, you know, wash your hands regularly. Okay, I'll be right back. Woo! Look at that there. That's what I'm talking about. Now, that's how you cook. Cooking is very simple. As you noticed, I did not put any salt in my batter. I did not put any seasonings at all. I just used the batter, which is already seasoned, by the way. And another note, ladies and gentlemen, when you are done cooking your fish and your shrimp, the oil that's remaining, do not save it. Do not save it. Throw it away. Get rid of it. The remaining batter that you have, if you're not going to use it immediately, throw it away. Do not save it. Okay? It will poison you. Okay? Most restaurants reuse the same oil because they have what they call a strainer, and they can strain the impurities out of the oil that comes into your when you're cooking. But most of us who have just a regular household kitchen, we don't have a strainer. We cannot strain our oils. So the batter, again, the unused portion of the batter, go ahead and throw it away. Do not reuse it. Now when the shrimp curls up like that, this one here, that is done. Okay? The shrimp is done. It doesn't take long, but what I want to do is I want this to brown a little bit more. Kind of like this one here. Kind of like that one right here. I want that color right there. That's a good, wonderful color. Okay? And it looks perfect in unison with what I'm cooking here. Ready? So now, like I said, I mentioned to you earlier, I have a surprise for you. I'm going to get that surprise together, and I'll be right back. Alright, as promised, I have a surprise for you. Look at that there. Anybody know what that is? That is French fries. But not regular French fries. Okay? This is sweet potato French fries. Woo-hoo! Awesome. Very tasty. They complement any fish dish. Okay? Now don't make the same mistake I did. These were frozen. So what I did was I added them all at the same time. What that does is that causes the oil to cool off too fast. So the majority of them are not cooking. So I had to increase the temperature just to get the oil to heat up again. And so it's going to take a while for those to crisp up. But those are sweet potato fries. Very delicious. Very very complimentary to any fish dish. So, just to reiterate, there's the shrimp. My God, masarap talaga. And there's my fish. Okay? Half of us cannot resist without going through and taking a bite. Wow, look how crunchy that is and how flaky that fish is on the inside. Completely done, completely good. Oh my God. So delicious. Okay, so we have prepared for you beer battered fish, shrimp, and sweet potato fries. Now as the oil heats back up, okay, don't forget to reduce your temperature so that you don't burn or scald your pan. But for now, this is Will coming to you from the inside of my truck. The truck cab chef, if you will. We just prepared a wonderful meal of beer battered cod, shrimp, sweet potato pie, and of course with the remaining beer that was left over, I am going to enjoy a nice drink. So we will continue our next episode where we cook something else. Until next time, goodbye.